Welcome everybody to the very first episode of the vLog reboot. I am very sorry that I ended up missing the schedule pretty hardcore for a month. Yeah, July 28th was actually the last time I uploaded. And that is why we're calling it a vLog reboot. Now with that said, the last time that I uploaded, we talked about a couple of things. We talked about the fact that I was really desiring to have the entire Adobe suite. Can you tell that I got it? Because my audio is crispy. And for those of you wondering, where does Beard go? So really the big thing with the beard is that I decided that I really needed to focus on disciplining myself and my body to God. And as an act of showing God that I am willing to be self-disciplined now, I decided to go ahead and shave off the beard. Now, you're probably wondering, why the beard though? Until I get to the point where I have self-disciplined very well, I am going to keep a clean-shaven face. It's kind of like a reverse Nazarite vow. For those of you that are familiar with the Nazarite vow, one of the most commonly remembered things about it is that you cannot shave. You can't shave your face, and you cannot trim your hair. Well, for me, that doesn't really bother me. Having a long beard and having long hair does not bother me a bit, but I'll tell you right now, in case you can't tell, I have a baby face. I have a really bad baby face, and I hate it. I hate it so much, but it's going to motivate me to continue to focus on that self-discipline, to lose the weight that I need to lose, and just get rid of these gluttonous tendencies that I have that are extremely unhealthy. This week's verse of the week is going to come to us from Matthew chapter 22, verse 39. Talks about loving your neighbor as yourself. And the reason that is this particular week's is because that is the new channel verse. We talked about that back in July, about it being in Psalm, and I decided that one was totally inappropriate for what we're doing as a channel. The whole point is to show Christ's love through our community. And on this week's episode of Getting to Know Gaming for God, what really makes you angry? Honestly, there are very few things that make me very angry or irritable or anything of that fashion. But really what gets under my skin are tailgaters, anybody who thinks Iron Man is not a criminal, and on top of that, people who twist the gospel and contort it with their own religious tendencies. For those of you that may be wondering what I'm talking about when I say people that kind of twist the gospel and still claim that they believe it, greatest examples I can think of off the top of my head are Mormons, or LDS folks, whichever you prefer, Catholics, and Lutherans. And the reason that is because they all have one thing in common. They all think that you have to do more than just believe in Jesus Christ and to believe that he was a sacrifice for your sins, that his death and burial and resurrection entirely encompassed the punishment for your sins. They add to that or remove from that. And that is the gospel in its core. So if you take away from that or if you add to it, you no longer believe in the gospel. This week's prayer request is simply for patience as God continues to teach me about self-discipline. It is very difficult for me. I never was encouraged to have self-discipline throughout my childhood. There were several things that I was not taught, and that is one of them. And I don't blame my mother for that. I love my mom to pieces. She was a single mom, and it was hard on her. She worked many hours a week, and because of that, I was kind of allowed to do whatever. And that is on me, that I should have been seeking someone responsible and someone that was available to me. There were plenty of people around me that would be willing to help me, but I didn't. So that's not on my mom, that's not just on me, that's on both of us, because I think we both could have helped out with that. This week's praise report is that God has put me back on track, and within a year, I'm going to be debt-free. But seriously, I am so excited that I'm going to be debt-free in less than a year. God is so good, and he is really helping me with this self-discipline, not just with food, but also with finances, to really direct me on getting out of that debt that has been enslaving me for all these years. For those of you completely unaware, I do also stream on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/gamingforgod. I'm going to stick a link down in the description below. And this week's goal, not just for this week, but this is what I'm going to continue to update you on, is we are 8 followers away from 250 followers on Twitch. When we hit it, we will do a community-supported 4 to 8 hour stream. 4 hours minimum, 8 hours maximum, and I will explain that once we hit the goal. If you haven't already, don't hesitate to join the other 308 followers on our Instagram, the 48 others who follow on Twitter, and of course, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you've enjoyed the content, click that notification bell if you want to hear more of these kinds of videos, as well as many others that I will be putting out throughout the weeks to come. Thank you so much for watching this video log today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I love you guys so very much. I appreciate again the fact that you've been taking the time out of your day to watch these videos. We will see you next week. God bless you.